You're listening to episode 96 of the Chanarant Podcast. On this episode, the boys talk about Fusco's wild night when he got too blacked out to make the recording, as well as what it takes to run a pipe band, leadership-wise, and whether it's better to rule with an iron fist or a stern thumb. Don't forget to get your merch at chanarant.com, and also check out the Dojo U tuning clinic at chanarant.com/serviceband. Enjoy the show.
That one wrong note.
Is that one? That's okay. No one should know that tune.
Guessing.
Why is there Christmas music for the bag? Like, one, I hate Christmas music. Two, I hate Christmas music played on bagpipes.
Exactly. Hey, you want to hear something? You want to know what really... I'm going to take over this week because...
You take over?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know what really sticks a Christmas tune right up my old arse?
Well, what's that there, Fusco?
When you get hired to play a gig and they ask you for Christmas tunes, like I have to do tomorrow.
I would deny the gig. I would turn the gig down.
I'll have like one. I'll have Jingle Bells. So that'll be
I have turned down money before so that I don't have to play fucking Grand Old Flag or Jingle Bells or like, play Greensleeves. No, I'm not going to play Greensleeves. That doesn't work on the pipes.
Wait a minute. Weren't you the one at the concert one year that played Greensleeves on the small pipes with?
No.
Oh, that wasn't you?
No, because I didn't have small pipes until last year.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josh. With me, as always, is my bearded co-host, Mr. Andy Fooko.
That's me.
And if you didn't know, I'm here to let you know this is an explicit Monday evening episode of the Chanarant Podcast. Well, Monday for us. It'll be probably next Monday by the time any of you fuckers hear this. This is an explicit show, so I'm going to give you 5 seconds to list something else. I can make some recommendations, but I'm not going to be mean today. So go listen to the Big Rap Show and send him some love on voicemails. But if you're sticking around, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fuck.
Fuck.
Listeners can review the show on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, etc. You can send us emails and voicemails we played on air. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or if you're Australian, Snapchat. Check out the Chanarant store at chanarant.com. Become a patron, patreon.com/Chanarant. We have 2 new patrons I'd like to give a shout out to. James, and Patrick.
Who?
James and Patrick, 2 brand new 2 of the 6 now.
Yeah.
Welcome to our unholy dark family.
I hope you're prepared for what you're in for, especially all the nude videos we post on Patreon.
Yeah, it's all just the slow jerks with lots of eye contact.
Oh,
that's the way I like it. Sandpapery with lots of eye contact. It's like getting licked by a cat's tongue. Last but not least, please invite and share with your friends. We are always growing, and we like to explore and expose new people. Here's what I would like. Here's what I would recommend everybody do, because I think this would be perfect. Okay. You say, hey, you should check out this podcast. It's a bagpiping podcast. Like, it's really great. Like, they get into a lot of like deep dives and interesting content and stuff here, and then like have them play the Jack Lee episode. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, well, if you like that one, you'll love this one. And then immediately followed up with the Dominatrix episode. Yeah. just to give them a good taste of the range.
It's a wide range. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, we cast a wide berth.
That reminds me.
Much like Fusco's gaping asshole post Indian food. It's a very wide cavern, a very wide chasm that we span over the course of several Chanarant podcast episodes.
And we do spew a lot of poop.
This is true.
Out of our cave.
Yep.
I got a message today from Bill, Fireman Bill.
Oh, how is Fireman Bill?
He says, just listen to episode 92, the Dominatrix one.
Okay.
At the gym. I laughed, I cried, I gagged. Best shit ever.
Yeah, perfect. That's pretty much the best we can ask for. What was the one? I remember I had someone who actually didn't like us. I won't say who it was, but I remember I saw like they had posted on, I think it was on like a Facebook thread, their opinion of the Chanarant podcast.
Really?
And so I added it as the testimonials on the website.
Oh, really?
So if you go to the bottom of the website, the first testimonial is, I've never heard anyone say anything so blatantly slanderous, not to mention simply lacking of any good taste whatsoever in any public forum.
Really? Where was that? I don't remember that.
It was on a Facebook thread during Coddlegate.
Oh, was it? Okay, that makes sense.
And so I took that as a testimonial. It's like I read it and I was like, accurate.
That's about right.
This very accurately describes our program.
We're attaining exactly what we're set out to do.
Dude, yeah,
We aren't trying to be the classy podcast.
I would say that we're not trying to be premier by any means.
By any means.
So I would say we hit our mark. Say what you will, but we know exactly what we want to be.
We know who our audience is.
And we know exactly who we want to be, and we nail it every time.
Oh, yeah. We're very good at it. And usually, lots of drinking helps us get there. But
Yeah, of course.
And the fact that we're natural a-holes. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to, man, you're such an asshole. It's like, yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, thanks.
But at least
Captain Obvious.
But at least I'm obvious.
At least we're consistent.
And,
right?
I'm honest. I'm an honest asshole. Okay, so let's get into some of the... we don't have a ton of messages or anything, which is good. But before we go into the news and updates, so we were originally going to record this episode yesterday.
Correct.
We were going to do a Sunday afternoon episode. And I just was pretty sure that you died via autoerotic asphyxiation because you were a no call, no show.
Yep.
And like an hour and a half later, I'm like,
I chanarated the shit out of you yesterday.
I was like an hour and a half later, I was like, okay, I guess we're not doing the show today.
Yeah, dude.
And then I get a text from you. It's like, dude, just woke up. I'm imitating what I think the voice was. You can tell me how accurate it is. Dude, just woke up. Rough night.
That was pretty accurate.
So tell me about your evening that was so intense that you missed a 3 p.m. podcast because you were still passed the fuck out.
Well, I was so insanely hungover Sunday that I woke up, went back to sleep, woke up, went back to sleep, and that second time
was what did.
was just gone.
So what did you do? What did you do Saturday evening?
So I bounced around by myself. I went, believe it or not, you
just went and tore one on, just solo style,
just solo. So I went to the Charleston.
Sometimes that's fun, right? To go just tear one on solo style.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I went to Charleston to try to find that dominatrix chick or whatever she is.
Okay.
Yeah, and she wasn't working. But I just figured I'll patronage. What's the word? I'll patronize this place.
Yes, you would.
That's not the word, but
I will patronize. You walk up to the bartender and he says, "What do you want?" I don't know. What do you want?
So I went there, and I don't think I really need to go there very often. It's kind of expensive, and it's not that special.
It's not great. Yeah.
No. So I think I spent $15 on my usual Jameson and Guinness or whatever.
Jameson and Guinness.
And at the Hunter's Tavern, it's $8 or whatever. So
well,
anyway.
the Hunter's Tavern, I will say, is a superior bar.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's how you know among the dive bars of Las Vegas that the Hunter's Tavern is the superior dive bar. Because everybody that works at a different dive bar, when they get off work, hangs out at the Hunter's Tavern.
That's true. They do. Yeah. Absolutely true.
That's how you know it's the best.
Dude, we've seen so many people that we've seen it working at other bars.
Yeah, if you work at a bar and you're like, oh man, I'd love to have a couple beers after work, and you don't you're like, I'm gonna go to HT because I don't want to do it at my own bar.
No,
I don't want to drink where I work. This place is a shithole.
But that place is the shittiest of all shitholes.
Definitely. Oh, by far. Dive bar might be shittier than HT.
I don't know, man. At least they have live music.
That's
good.
true.
That's decent.
Yeah.
And the bar's big, at least. And
it's a tough one, but I would agree. HT is a superior bar realistically for all things.
Yeah. So so I was sitting at the bar. Funny story about that. This relates to bagpipes. And this woman sits next to me and starts talking to me. And at some point she asked me what I do, and I told her I'm a musician and I play bagpipes for a living. And she said, like, you wear a kilt and stuff? I'm like, yeah. So I show her a picture on my phone of me in a kilt, and she's like, that's not attractive at all. I was like, really? I've never gotten that. Like, women always love this. She's like,
usually chicks dig the kilt.
All right, well, I'm out then. So then I left.
Yeah. I was like, all right, fair play.
And then I went to one of our favorites, Rebar.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And
kind of kitschy. So you were on the prowl.
I was.
Yeah.
I was like at home and had nothing to do, and I wanted to get out. And I didn't do it. I was going to do it Friday, and I didn't. So I knew this was going to be a mistake for Sunday, but I was like, I got to get out of this.
Cool. And I remember you had messaged me on Thursday
Yes.
And,
I went out that night too.
And I was just like, I was tired. I was just dead. I'm like, I would be the least fun person to go out with. And then I'll be even, like, I had a shit ton of stuff to do at work. I was like, nah, I'm gonna call it. Because I knew I had 2 nights of fairly decent amounts of drinking ahead of me for the weekend because I had 2 holiday parties to go to.
Right.
And I fucking don't bounce back like I used to, Fusco. I'm getting
Yeah,
old.
you get old, man. That's what happens. Don't worry, you'll hit your second win when you're about 40 like me.
Yeah. Well, I think my trick is I have to...
And you're desperate.
Like now I've realized there's a direct correlation between my physical fitness and my ability to fucking recover.
I don't know. You've been physically fit lately and you're still struggling.
Well, I would say, but the more physically fit I am,
worse?
no, the better my recovery is.
Okay.
Like if I was just a lazy piece of shit like I have been for the past 2 years.
What's my excuse then?
I don't know, man.
Actually, I didn't recover very well. Actually.
Yeah, I would say you don't recover at all. You fucking die. But yeah, I've noticed now as I've been like trying to not be a fat piece of shit because I can't just like eat whatever I want and drink whatever I want and not look awful.
Right.
So now that I have to like kind of have a little bit of physical activity, I am getting better at recovery and like my sleep's better and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, sure.
So it's like, what do you go to the gym for? Oh, so I can black out like a fucking asshole and still,
So I can drink more and be okay.
It's like a black out on a Friday and still function on a Saturday. Like that's a healthy way to approach your gym routine.
Yeah, it is. It's not a bad idea actually. So I went to Rebar, right? And I saw our personal pilot. I went and hung out with him.
Ah, sweet.
And the other 2 people that are always there and spent some time.
We need like a cool code name for him. If he's going to be our pilot, like, does he need a call sign? Should he be like Captain
he might
something?
he might have one. I don't know. We can call him Mo.
Yeah,
Captain Mo.
Captain Mo.
It sounds insulting, but it's not. He's got a mohawk. So.
Yeah, he's got a mohawk.
So spent some time hanging out with him.
And he's Mormon, so 2 birds with one stone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not Mormon.
And so if have we told the story about our personal pilot?
I think we mentioned it briefly, or no, maybe we didn't because we wanted it to be a surprise. No, I mean not that it is anymore, but. Yeah, essentially, Chain Rant Industries. We now have a pilot.
We have a plane and a pilot. Well, we got to rent the plane, but
yeah, we got to rent the pilot too.
So this dude we know he was a bartender at one of our favorite bars.
Yeah, he's a bartender and he lives down in the area, so we see him around.
And he's learning to fly.
He's trying to get. The problem is now that he's gotten through most of his training stuff, so he just needs hours.
Correct.
So he needs a shit ton of hours in order to, because he eventually wants to be a commercial pilot.
Right.
And so he's like, yeah, like if you guys want to split the cost with me, like I could take you to play, because we talked about how we travel a lot for games and things like that. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, like if you split the cost, I need the hours. So, for like $200 a head, we could fly.
Yeah, he said you have to basically rent a plane, but the only cost of a plane is when it's actually the engine is on.
When it's actually being
sitting
used.
here, they don't charge you for anything, so it's like remarkably cheap.
Yeah, it's not bad
as long as we don't have to pay the pilot, which he said he would do it because he needs the hours. So
well, and we're going to be in hotels and shit anyway, so he just stay with us and hang with us. Hang with us for the weekend.
He's a good dude, so why not?
He's fun. He's fun to hang out with too. So we're just like we were looking at some of these games that we might want to go to. Like Utah was a great example.
Utah was one, yeah,
because it's like an 8-hour drive, which sucks ass.
Yeah. Be like an hour and a half.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, we could do that in like an hour and a half. And I'm like,
that would be so killer, dude.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, are we gonna? We're gonna have also, this is how Randy Rhoads died. So I don't know how I feel about this as an idea. But yeah, essentially we might be just taking a puddle jumper to Utah, and I'm gonna get him like a hat, like AVs, the whole 9 yards, and like just have him chill with us, because I want that one moment where we're like sitting in a beer tent and someone comes up and they're like, who's that guy you guys are hanging out with? It's like, oh, that's our pilot.
We absolutely have to do that. Oh my god, it's going to be amazing.
Is it potentially $200 something of my own money plus $200 something of your money for essentially a one-line gag? Yes.
Yeah, but we're going to pay to drive there in time and effort. And
honestly, it's not that much more. I mean, for time, I would say more than anything.
Yeah, for sure.
I
mean, we're taking our lives in our hands.
An hour and a half or 2 hours of a quick flight in a little fucking 4-banger versus 8-hour drive.
Oh, it's the worst. Although the band didn't vote for Salt Lake, so I guess we're just going there for ourselves.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, what did they vote for? I don't remember. We can talk about that, because we kind of want to talk about the AGM stuff a little bit. So let's get through some more of this stuff.
Yep. Anyway,
so Fusco, you went out drinking on the prowl. Any success?
None. And I went home and I blacked out. I have no idea.
Did you black out when you got home, or no? You woke up. You woke up in bed.
Woke up. I have no idea how I got there.
Oh fuck!
And I remember, like, you know how that guy, he always talks me into the mango habanero shots or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Which is a local,
Because
they're made locally.
Yeah, because he likes to fuck with you.
Yeah, and I always do it. Because
You always black out.
it's always not, I kind of like it. It's not that bad. And then next thing, I was planning to go to HT that night, too. I was going to stop by there. And according to my receipts, I never made it there. I have no idea.
Oh, my God.
I think I just went home. I have no idea.
We need to get you a body cam.
Like a cop cam.
Yeah. We'll get the Fusco body cam.
That's not a bad idea. Like, what happens after?
Like Patreon exclusive. We'll rig up like a body cam or a spy cam on Fusco that like is not obviously visible, and then just give you like $50 in drinking money and just send you out. It's like, and that's content.
Dude, I can black out for half that.
Yeah.
Especially at HT. But
Oh my God.
so anyway, that's why I wasn't there. I apologize. I was so hungover that day.
I just want this to go on the permanent record of all the times where I've told you you're late to show up to recordings and you're like, oh, I'm never late, blah, 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 blah.
I never said I was never late, but that's the pot calling the kettle black, buddy.
So not only were you late, but no call,
I
no
didn't
show,
show.
Completely missed it.
Well, I called it like an hour and a
Like an
half.
hour and a half late, yeah.
Hey, man, when you live the Chanarant life, you got to be on both sides, the receiving and the giving.
Okay, so real quick, we have a Facebook message that I wanted to include. It says, "I take it that you haven't." This is going to the weird thing that we played. I think it was 2 weeks ago, where they had like the tape down channels.
Yeah.
I realize that you haven't, or I take it that you haven't realized that the shocking sound of Angus McKinnon and Donna McLean of Lewis were us having a laugh and taking the piss. We had taped down the F hole and C hole for another set that required naturals. No tuning had been done. Okay, and the reason I wanted to bring this up.
Okay. I had no idea. I thought this band was terrible. I didn't know they were doing it on purpose.
Well,
but we did say that. Then we were like, this is so bad, they must be doing it on purpose.
Here's what I would say about this. Like, oh, didn't you know that time we were playing horribly? Like we were just having a laugh. Like we were playing horribly in front of a huge crowd, like with cameras rolling. We were just having a laugh. Okay, fine. You're still setting us back as far as quality music and piping.
And
like,
that thing made it around Facebook for
Yeah.
sure. People were sharing that.
like whether you're joking, fine. Okay, fine. Let's post the recordings of the medley from the concert in 2018. I'll be like, didn't you realize we were just having a laugh?
Right.
That's
yeah.
why
That's our excuse.
That's why only two of us were playing the whole time, and everyone else is just making big old honkers.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea as a way to get out of it.
Nah,
We're
it's
just
like,
doing it
don't
for
get me
the
wrong. A gag's a gag, but nobody else
post it to
knows.
fucking
Yeah,
YouTube.
nobody else knows that. Nobody in the crowd's like, oh, listen to those guys having fun. They're just like, Jesus Christ, that hurts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I get it.
So whether or not you were having a laugh, I don't care. It was still dog ass.
Absolutely, I agree.
So
It was not fun or funny.
Yep. So you missed the mark. Okay, next up was this video that was shared to the Chanarant guests group, which I just thoroughly enjoyed. It really has nothing to do with bagpipes, but
Okay.
I liked it. So I'm gonna pull it up real quick and we'll have a wee listen.
I don't know if I've seen it or not yet. Oh, this, okay.
Try not to be a cunt, it's Christmas. Take a tip from Santa's home. The rest of us are doing our best to be jolly. So don't go looking like you swallowed a bunch of holly. Don't shout at carols, sing us and tell them to stop. Don't buy your presents from the Oxfam shop. For fuck's sake, be jolly, have another sherry. Try not to be a cunt. Try not to be a cunt. Look, there's the reindeer. I'm sleighing up to Lapland. Try not to be a cunt. C-U-N-T, cunt.
I didn't actually watch that past 5 seconds.
So good.
And it's three ladies, but the first one
Yeah.
in front is a pretty old lady.
Yeah,
That's
the
pretty
first
awesome.
one, she's got to be. I want to say early 60s is where I'd clock
Yeah,
that.
yeah, for sure. Maybe even older.
And
And
maybe even older.
one of them singing like Ozzy Broad in the back, like I can't even do it. My voice is still there, but
Yeah, man.
that kind of opera shit.
Yeah, no, man. I think that was really good. I like it. So cheers
Pretty funny.
cheers to those ladies.
I wonder if that like they didn't seem to be reading off like a sheet. So I wonder if that's like an Australian like fucking thing to fuck around.
Or maybe
with.
they just rehearsed it 3 times and then did it.
Could have been.
It was only 45 seconds.
That's true. It was better than Bollocks and Fiddle.
It even was. Yeah. It's better than Bollocks and Fiddle last year for sure. Oh my God, yeah. I haven't seen any recordings of that. Thank goodness. I don't think any will surface. Bollocks and Fiddle this year.
Oh, this year.
Because
it'll surface.
Like there were some
I'll make
parts.
sure of that.
There were some parts that were genuinely good, but there were some like the misses were big misses.
Well,
Like
you know
the
what you do?
harmony misses were big harmony.
It
misses.
just takes proper editing. You just give it the 10 seconds where you hit it and then move on to something else.
Yeah.
Like use it as a cross into another thing.
Okay, so real quick, I just want to do some shameless plugs. We still have a sale going on.
We do.
At the Chain Rant store, you can get some sweet merch for the Chanter Ranter in your life. I don't know if you'll get it by Christmas, but you might as well try. And you can save money when you use the code Satan Claus at checkout. That's SATANCLAUS, Satan Claus at checkout on the Chain Rant store. Get one of them fleeces.
Yeah, man. Have you seen Aussie Broad bought one and she sent me a pic of it? Did you see it?
Surprisingly nice.
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
I need to get one.
Because at first I was kind of worried because I think we list them for like
They're expensive.
40 or 50 maybe.
Something like that.
Because they're and I was like, that's kind of pricey. And then
Do we get to choose prices or no?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we
do?
set prices, but it's barely over the cost of production. Usually is
Right,
what we
yeah.
set it at. And so I said it, and I was like, oh, like this might be pricey. And then Kelly bought one,
Right.
MLK bought one, and she was like, no, it was totally worth it.
Really?
Yeah, she's like I paid the money for it. I thought I was kind of concerned too that it might not be that nice. She's like, no, it's really nice. It's totally worth it.
No, we need to get one. Don't we get like at cost prices?
Yeah, we can.
We got to order them then.
Yeah, yeah,
I
we can
need
get some. We can get some fleeces.
For sure.
I thought about doing hoodies too. We could do some hoodies.
Yeah. Like zip up hoodies or pullovers?
Either. I like pullovers, but there's no wrong answers here.
Yeah. I prefer zip, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should absolutely do that. And then we need a new shirt. I think we need a new
Yeah,
concept.
should we do? Well, it's kind of late to do something Christmassy, but
We could do. You got any good jokes for Burns Night? We could do a shirt based around Burns Night. And sell some.
dude, I can't even tell you how anxious I am about Burns Night,
Really?
and not because I don't think I'm gonna nail it. Because so backstory,
I mean,
I don't know if
look at the
we've,
audience.
yeah, I don't
Who
know if we've
cares?
mentioned this on the show before,
We have not.
but I'm emceeing the Burns Night for the local St. Andrews Society this year.
How did that come about, by the way?
They asked me
Why is the other guy not? That usually does it, not doing it.
health.
Oh,
Health
okay.
reasons, yeah. And so they gave me like the script and stuff they've done in the past and whatever. And so like one, they're like, okay, well, I have no pipers I have one. I think I might have two pipers that can play that won't be eligible to play the thing that would actually make me money, which I wish wasn't on the same day. Because that kind of fucked me that I'd already committed to one thing when that thing came up.
Yep.
But it's like I have not done any work on like the script for that yet. I'm just like, fuck, it's gonna sneak up on me so quick.
It is. Don't worry, you'll get a lot done on the 26th.
Yeah, I imagine so. Because like it's one of those things where I'm just like, okay, I know I can pull it off, but I'm just like, I wish I had said no.
You know that's literally the worst event of the year.
Yeah. I mostly did it as a favor. I try to be a nice guy. You have to keep in mind, I can't piss off as many people as you can
Why?
in the local community because I need some of them for shit.
Oh. What do you need St. Andrews people for?
I probably game stuff. You know, I get some volunteers from them.
Yeah.
So I try to throw people bones here. And I try to be a fucking paragon of the Celtic community in the
That's
Las
fair.
Vegas area.
I throw people bones too, but different kind.
Different kind of bone.
Angel knows what I'm talking about. He's out there.
Don't say he never gave you nothing, like herpes.
Like gonorrhea. Uh-oh. I think our stream might be down.
Uh-oh. Let me take a peek.
Just double check. Or let me refresh.
It's good on mine. Yeah, I'm golden.
Let me refresh. Maybe.
Yeah, it's just you. Okay, so I don't know how we got on this. How do we get on the subject of Burns Night? But because you brought it up for something to wear to Burns Night or something at the merch. I forget what you said. Anyway, I'm nervous about having to MC the Burns Night, and I haven't done any of my homework, and it's just a very busy time of year.
Par for the course.
Yeah, par for the course, really. And just like par for the course, I will fucking knock it out of the park, as I always do.
I'm sure it'll go fine. Like it can't be any worse.
No. I mean, if I went,
who's the do they have an entertainment or is it just you?
I don't know. I don't.
And do they
think-
know your quality of comedy? Because old people aren't gonna love that.
Well, I can adjust. Yeah, I've done because like I did the toast to the lassies like 2 years ago, and it wasn't explicit. Like it hinted enough to be funny.
But doesn't it anyway? It's way. It's
Yeah,
written.
that's well, no, I wrote that.
Oh.
Yeah, I wrote it. I didn't use a pre-made one. Kelly and I both wrote our own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because come on, we're overachievers. You know this.
Well, I know Kelly is.
Hey, go fuck yourself. Guess what? I wrote mine
The night before.
the night before.
Yeah, of course.
and it fucking slayed.
I don't remember I was blacked out at the time.
I wrote it the night before, and it kicked fucking ass. And Kelly, because Kelly had been working on hers for months, and I showed her mine, and she's like, "Son of a bitch, you wrote this last night, didn't you?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, and she was just mad. She was just mad that it was good, and I literally spent like 45 minutes on it.
Yeah, Kelly does a great job of like being pre-done. Like she does her work way ahead of time, and
You know,
it's pretty good.
I get a lot of people that do a lot of work ahead of time, and they get mad when I spend 15 minutes on it, and it's better.
Better to be lucky than good, right?
Better to be lucky than good. Yep. Okay, so last plug real quick. The Dojo U Tuning Clinic is in May. If you want to work on your tuning skills, tuning abilities, we're not targeting this towards any particular group of players. The tuning clinic, I think, provides benefit to players of all kinds: competition, solo, band players, hobbyists, anything like that. So there's we're not trying to tailor our approach to selling the tuning clinic to any particular group. But if you'd like to get some tickets, go ahead and head to chanarant.com/serviceband. That's chanarant.com/serviceband if you want to learn how to tune. Hey, maybe the guy from the earlier comment where they taped all their shit down because they were having a piss. Good.
Right.
They could sign up. They could sign up for
definitely
the
need some help in that band.
sign up for the tuning clinic. I liked the comment. No tuning had been done. It's like, oh, I could tell.
Oh, we knew. Obviously.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick minute. We're gonna hear from some of our fantabulous advertisers, who I'm assuming are mostly us.
It's just us.
And you see, that's the great thing about building a vertical empire. McDonald's manufactures the ketchup that goes on their burgers.
Do they really?
Yes.
They don't buy it from Heinz or
Nope.
whatever? Oh, I didn't know that.
So they make their own ketchup. They make their own packaging. They make everything. You build a vertical empire so that you control every process of manufacturing from stem to stern, and then you can always ensure people are getting 100% Chanarant quality dick jokes and farts into the microphone. That's why we're powered by our own store, our own patrons,
That's
and
right.
we run our own fucking ads. So roll the ads, baby.
Here we go.
Oh, this episode of the Chantarant podcast brought to you by the Chantarant store. Buy all your great Chantarant gear and t-shirts and even tank tops for the ladies. It's a hot one out there at this world's pipe band competition, so don't forget to head to chantarant.com and buy yours today.
And we are back. Thank you to our friends at the Chanarant store for supporting this episode of the Chanarant podcast.
You know, those are a great bunch of guys at the
Chanarant, Josh McEachern Media, Chanarant Media, whatever the parent. What's our parent company? Do we have a parent company yet?
Not yet, but we need one.
We probably need one.
It's going to be Tiger Bomb.
Tiger Bomb Productions. Speaking of the Tiger Bomb, while we were talking to some of the patrons, we brought up the Tiger Bomb bet that our good friend Angel came on the show and did. And Fusco recommended that pre-coitus, you put a little Tiger Bomb on your sack there.
Absolutely. I've tried this a few times, and it's fantastic.
Doesn't that and you don't put it on the shaft because that'll
No.
because that'll burn the dude's asshole. You said.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt his anus. But dude, on the balls, holy moly, it's hot and cold, and it goes back and forth. It floats back and forth between the two of them. And
this makes me wonder a question. Okay, so Fusco,
yeah,
you're an alcoholic. No point pulling punches there.
well, I mean, I can't ruin my kids or my wife's lives because I'm single with no kids.
And you don't go to meetings.
And I don't go to meetings, so I don't know.
So you have some of the tendencies of an alcoholic.
Yes, if I had a family, I'd be fucked.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
What is the weirdest thing that you've ever done while drunk to like snap yourself out of it to be like ready to bang?
Ooh.
If you were just like, holy crap, like I gotta perform.
You mean if I have whiskey dick?
Yeah, like I gotta perform, and even if you don't have whiskey dick, but if you're just like I gotta perform, and I know for a fact like I'm not gonna be able to like get to where I need to be. Like what is your go? You like stick your tongue in the light socket? Like what's the thing you've done that's like the craziest shit to like get you primed?
I've talked to my penis before. I'm like, come on, man.
It's you and me.
It's you and me. We got this. We can pull this off. I swear. I'll reward you tomorrow. We'll take you out to a nice dinner. And I start slapping it around.
You just
Come on,
start,
wake up.
You just start manning and like
You know how like you're trying, if your friend's really drunk and you're trying to get him out of the bar, you got to kind of slap him around a little bit, kind of wake him up so you get him on his feet.
So your solution is you Chris Brown your cock.
That's correct. I mean, that's the weirdest thing that I've done that I can think of. I mean, I've definitely done the old taffy pull. Like, come on, motherfucker, you got this. That never works.
Never like the tiger balm in the nostrils, like we were talking. Like, no.
Oh no. Not for sex. No.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. Like, because I feel like everyone has that situation. Everyone has a situation where like they're like, I overshot.
This isn't that weird, but
I've had it with imbibing substances before, where I overshot.
Like
non-alcoholic substances,
like drug type substances,
where I overshot, and I'm just like, oh no, this person
suddenly you're on the roof with this fucking rifle.
No, it's just like all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, this person wants to have sex, and I wasn't planning on doing that today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Like, don't be wrong. Sometimes having sex when you're high as fuck is great, but sometimes there's physiological responses to imbibing substances, and you're just like, oh.
There definitely is. I don't know how much I really want to talk about that because I've done some shit. I'll tell you one weird. It's not that weird, I don't think, but I've definitely tried when it's not working right. The old cock ring.
Really? Never done the cock ring.
Dated this girl briefly who gave me a rubber cock ring for some reason. I think it was a hint.
So wait. You put.
I must have dated her very drunk for like a month.
So you apply the cock ring like when you're semi-hard, when you're not hard?
You can use it. Do it
like
whenever.
you just put it on when you're not hard and the blood goes in, can't get out?
More or less.
Okay.
And it sort of makes the cock happen. I guess. I don't know. I really don't know the science behind it. I have to look it up.
Oh, see, we wanted a merch idea for the holidays. Cock ring.
Chanarang cock ring. What a great idea. One thing that I haven't tried.
It'll come everywhere from size Fusco to size Angel.
Oh my God. One thing I was thinking of, and we've never done this. We have a friend that's a doctor, and I've never even tried Viagra or anything.
Not
of that
once.
nature.
No, I've never had a boner pill.
And there was a time period, I'd say in my mid-30s, where I started to wonder if I
feel like we should do it as a bit, right? Like at a time where we're not like we should, like, next time we play the Downs Society Festival of Trees event, we should film a Chanarang bit where we pop Viagra before
we go play for the Downs kids.
Like, we got to do it in a situation that would negate all boner otherwise.
We're gonna be wearing kilts, and the sporins are gonna be straight up. And
it'll be the first time I carried bricks in my sporin.
Oh my God. This is not a bad idea. It's not a bad, Matt.
Could be a good bit, yeah.
I know our friend, the doctor, has given out Viagra to people before in pipe bands.
I'm concerned.
Our buddy Graham.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned
when
about
Viagra
that shit.
first came out, he was like passing it around like candy to all the old guys in the pipe band. Like, and I remember it was some games. It was like Graham and this dude from Misty Isle. They like popped it and like had boners in mass bands. Just wanted to see what would happen, And it was because it was very new to the market. And I remember Graham telling me about that. Like Ken never offered it to me, but I was 30 at the time.
So we should do. We should do a bit. Like I always love when they have the commercials where it's like, if you have an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours, you got to see a doctor. It's like, motherfucker, if I have an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours, I'm calling the news. I'm calling everybody.
I'm calling every girl I know. Doing a Superman pose.
Yeah, I'd be like, look at my dick. Look upon my cock, all who wonder and fear.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so let's get into our topic of the week.
Do we have a topic of the week?
Well, we have some
I don't know how we
options.
keep pulling it off.
Well, because we never run out of things to talk about because we're interesting fucking guys, man.
Should we do fail and win before we do that?
Yeah, actually, that's a great idea. So we do, because we haven't done fail and win in a while, I realized.
Yeah, we've had so many like busy full shows of guests and
things like that. So what are we opening up with here? Set the stage.
I'm going to start with the fail, of course. Okay, so this is so I've been feeling guilty about the fails of the week lately. Not lately, in the last few months anyway. Just because I'm like, are we really pulling the wings off flies?
I've felt guilty enough to where I don't want to publicly post the links. I haven't brought that up yet, but I don't want to publicly post it. I don't want to publicly post the links anymore. I think
we still should.
I just want the audio
because when you hear this, it's going to make you so angry. And
I've also noticed the more of a following we've gotten, the more people are trolling like super hard, and not necessarily like our regulars, but like
Just others?
there's a couple cases. I was on a thread with someone who recently went to say some very horrific things in the comments section of another piping podcast.
Is it the person I think?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, we're cultivating that kind of behavior. And like, God forbid we ever actually get, I mean, one, we're bigger than we ever thought we'd be. And we're probably going to be bigger. So I feel like we might want to not post the public links anymore, because I feel like we're going to get these people very unfairly targeted.
I wouldn't make that decision based on that one person.
But I do see it as a canary in the coal mine.
Here's what I think. And I go back and forth on this. But I was thinking like, the fail of the week, maybe it's too much. I don't know. But then I listen to this guy play, and he's out in public, and he is ruining this for all of us. Like, I remember thinking,
But the problem with the problem is with Facebook links, it's even worse, because like that's that person's personal name, face, everything.
yeah, but so he put himself out there. He deserves both sides of it, good and bad.
This is interesting.
Like when you hear what this guy does, like you tell me that he doesn't deserve to get fucking
Let us
trolled.
know in the chat or in the comments
Yeah,
what you think about. Is it too cruel to continue to post links to the fail of the week?
Yeah.
Because I am in a moral quandary about this.
I am definitely there too. But then this shit makes me so angry when I hear it. I'm like, why did you post this? One, why did you record it? Two, why are you out in public playing like this? When you hear this guy strikes, he's not playing a bass drone. He's in full goddamn.
Oh, let's just play it. Let's just play it. Yeah.
He's doing the Campbell's a wonderful service here. It's a great advertisement for the tuning clinic. Oof. It's that high A go flat.
It's a lot of crossing noise.
He doesn't have his bass drawn, or it's double.
Okay.
I can't tell
I
which.
can't. Yeah. Pull the plug.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
This guy, he's at the Chattanooga National Cemetery playing for Wreaths Across Chattanooga, apparently, which is they do this Wreaths Across America thing, usually around Christmas time. Like, what the holy fuck is happening here? Like, this is the guy that they got for this, or did he? I mean, I understand if he volunteered. That's nice on you, dude,
Probably
but-
offered to do it for free, man.
dude. Come on, man. Come on. Like, this angers me.
Yeah,
when I hear
that's
shit like this.
that's pretty horrific.
Like, did his bass like when he hit it, it never even came on. So I don't know if he's corked or
Yeah, but
or
that-
if he just fucked
Like
it
that.
up.
That's more of like a technical
but it
maintenance and setup issue. Like
Could be.
beyond all that, I would say the drones are not even the most offensive thing of this entire performance. Like the fingering is horrific. The blowing is all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, his outfit is ridiculous.
So he's playing dress up.
Yes, this is the kind of people that drive me nuts because they're playing dress up. Like he's out there playing, drawing attention to himself, and being really fucking terrible at it. So this is the sort of thing that makes me crazy because what you said about that other band that thought they were doing a joke, like it brings negative feelings light to what
Yeah.
we do, and it
Yeah.
makes us look like a bunch of jokers, right?
It makes you look like a bunch of fucking assholes.
Like I bet you this guy was on the fucking news. There's
No
doubt about it.
matter what happens, if you were in public playing a bagpipe, you are representing all bagpipers everywhere.
Yeah, like take that into consideration, man. Like because everybody's fucking filming. There's always
It's the
somebody.
fucking age of the internet, my boy. Yeah, that's horrific. Okay.
So does this make you feel guilty about fucking fail of the week and like this guy
Still,
should get, this guy should
yeah.
get comments like, dude, like put him like don't play in public for a couple of years. Like get your shit together.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Oh, but here's an issue, right? Like here's where this can cause negative backlash.
Okay.
Here's what's going to cause negative backlash, in my opinion, right? Because the person that posted this isn't the guy.
No, it's his wife.
His wife posted it, so he didn't have necessarily control over that.
He's in public performing.
He's in public. I know he's in public.
He
but
has control of that.
But who's gonna get the backlash here, right? Like who's gonna get
her.
the comments?
Her, but she's gonna pass it on to him, and there's no doubt he's reading this. I'm looking through some of the comments.
Yeah, I'm checking to see what's going on because it's a lot of like, thank you, so beautiful, this is awesome, proud of you, good job. Like, this is just their family like liking this. Someone said such talent, fucking incorrect.
There was one guy that said something about, where is it?
Like, put your arm on the bag.
Put your arm on the bag so the blowing's a little steady, something like that. But he was nice about it. He wasn't like, but I need Rooster Cockburn to go onto this goddamn guy's Facebook and tear him apart. Or whoever. Or just post a link to the Piper's Dojo tuning clinic. How about that? That's
Dude,
it's just a
post
gentle
it right now.
Do it right now. Because, dude, man, I appreciate what you're attempting here, but you gotta learn the instrument first, man. You're killing the rest of us.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole bunch of people standing around you with their hands over their ears, wondering like,
What the fuck
God
is going
damn
on?
it! Why is this the national instrument of Scotland? Like, what is wrong with those people? Or
Yeah,
whatever.
That's rough, and it blows my mind the amount of people that are commenting on that, like saying, "Great job, so proud, oh my god, such respect." Yeah, that's rough. Ugh, that hurts me. That hurts me in my
listen
soul.
to
Okay,
the-
do we have something good?
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. So this was submitted. This is an Australian band. And the reason this is the win of the week is because they definitely went through some shit and still came out sounding pretty goddamn good. So I don't know what contest they said this in, but the band won grade 3 of this particular day. This is them doing the March Past that I'm going to play. But they had the worst run over the last 18 months with people. PM walked out, the drum sergeant left, and this is basically the crew that stayed and did the hard yards to like get it back together and pull it together. And you may recognize a little bit of something at the end. So check this out. Did you hear the woo at the end?
Yeah.
You know who that was?
No.
It's our good buddy,
Who was the wooer?
Honey Bourbon.
Oh, Honey Boo Boo.
Everything he sends us is him doing a woo in the background. But this is the, what are these guys called? The Victoria Scottish Pipe Band, I believe, from somewhere in Australia. I don't know where exactly. And they really had to get their shit together when
Yeah, man.
all the important people left, and they still pulled it together. One thing I did want to ask you about is, did you notice what they were wearing on
No.
their heads?
No.
They're all wearing baseball caps.
Oh, nice.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the baseball cap as a part of as like band uniform. In my opinion, I just don't think that jives. We've done it before, and I seen bands that do it with like
July 4th parades.
yeah, like bands that do it where it's like hotter, like if it's a shit gig, it's hot as fuck, and wear like polos and caps. I think that's fine. I don't know what the context is of this. If that's
It's their like mass bands end of day march past.
so, I don't mind that as long as they're all
Doing it together.
I don't mind that as much for the march past. But for me, a march past is still kind of like on parade in a more like a semi-formal setting. You know,
Yeah.
like I'd say like a community parade. You could probably get away with more weird uniform things. But no, I'm not a big fan of caps. Just because it takes away from like part in my opinion, part of the band is the aesthetic too.
Sure.
Like you have to have the sound, but you also have to have kind of a semi-regimental dress
Look. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of in my opinion, that's part of the job. Like when people ask me, you know, what are you dressed up like that for? And I say $250 an hour. It's like, it's because like that is part of it. I mean, if you just want me to come play in my jeans and boots, like that's one thing. But like for me to like really represent and play a gig when I like show up in even you know my personal regalia or my band regalia, there's a lot of attention to detail that goes into that, and for it to be done correctly. I don't know if it always comes across to like the layman, but to me, I put a lot of attention to those details.
I think it does. It's just like anything. Like they may not realize it, but it definitely creates a mood, if you will.
Yeah, and
to
when
a-
it's part of the mentality. I mean, there's a reason that military and militaristic organizations put so much emphasis on like detailed attention to uniform, because if you are that, you know, if you're that particular about your shirt and your shoes,
You're
when it
particular
comes
about your gun.
When it comes to exactly. No, that's literally it. Like
No, it
you're
is,
gonna be particular about your gun. You're gonna be particular about your instrument. You're gonna be particular about your your fire truck. You're gonna be particular about whatever the thing is that is really the difference between
Important
life
thing.
and death.
Yeah.
Like if you're paying a lot of fastidious attention to details and small things, that kind of, and it's a discipline thing too. Like it expounds to other parts of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a total fucking hot mess 99% of the time. And
Right.
then like I meticulously go over my pipe band uniform before I ever put it on. Mm-hmm. But also for me as someone who's in leadership, I have to do that. Like I can't tell you that you're fucking up if there's a chink in my armor anywhere.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. No, that makes sense.
So that's one of those things where, I mean, different. I would never presume someone to tell someone how to run their band unless it's Stephen McWhorter, and he needs to fix the goddamn drums, which he did.
He did. He won. I wouldn't either. I mean, I don't hate the caps.
Granted, if they wore the big Aussie one side up caps,
that would be awesome.
That's a cultural thing, in my opinion. That's totally game.
They could do that. Yeah.
Like, if we marched in matching shit kickers, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I don't really care. I mean,
Plus, it sounds good. You can get away with a lot when you sound good.
Yeah, they sound pretty good for a grade 3 band, I think.
And I didn't know that they had that much turnover. That's insane.
Yeah, within a year and a half, and they still sound that good. That was a big ass band. You see them?
Yeah, it's huge. And that's one of the things that we kind of touched on in the Angel episode. I don't know if we got deep enough into it, but kind of the difference between the cut and run crowd versus like the stay and build it crowd. The people that are left over that are just kind of committed.
Like fucking that cunt Angel.
Hey, he did his mea culpa, man. He burned his balls.
Yeah, he did.
You burn
We'll see if he shows up tomorrow.
You burn your balls at the altar of Chanter Rant, and you get a second chance, in my opinion.
Oh, that's funny.
Tell it to Graham if he wants to come back.
If he wants
to come back, he's got a tiger bomb in his nuts.
Come on the show, Tiger Bomb your balls, and we'll let you back in.
Yeah. Except I'm gonna put like pepper spray in there. Cool. So speaking of kind of the difference between the standard that leadership has to be held to and kind of the standard everyone else has to be held to, we recently had our annual general meeting, which I think is a thing that a lot of bands do.
Yeah, if they're nonprofit, they probably
if they're nonprofit, where they kind of have the members go up and they try to say, here's what we did right, here's what we need to work on, here's a plan for the year, and it's also where we do elections.
Right.
And on that note, we had an interesting development. Where Mr. Andy Fusco ran unopposed.
That's correct.
And was elected the president of the band that shall not be named, which I am the vice president of as of last year's annual general meeting and will be until next year's annual general meeting, thus creating the glorious 1,000-year Reich.
It's the wrong music for the Reich, but that's okay. It's close enough. It's the other side of that coin.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's a better song.
Yeah, so I kind of want to get into this a little bit, and this is our topic of the week, because we, for a long time, thought it was best if musical leadership and organizational leadership was completely separate.
Oh, we've thought this from the beginning.
And I thought they
they
were merits and other things. There were things that are corrected and things I think missed the mark about that.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to. I don't know how much we've talked. I don't think we've talked about this very much on the show. So I kind of wanted you to give an overview of why you think it's important at this particular juncture for the musical leadership and the organizational leadership to essentially be the same. Well, not ideal. It's not ideal in my opinion, because I think that it's...
I don't know if I would state it that way exactly, but let me maybe phrase it the opposite, where I do think it's very important that that musical beginners are not musical leaders or not organizational leaders.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, I mean, it's kind of the same thing-ish.
And real quickly, like, I don't want to, because I mean, we've had, like, our former president, Lauren, has been on the show before. She did a great segment chewing us out, which I loved thoroughly. It's still one of the most popular episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
and now that she's not president anymore, she'll probably come back on.
She'll probably be a lot happier. That's for sure.
She'll definitely be a lot happier. And it's one of those things where I think that I will not knock the work that's been done before you and I had to be on the board, because I thought that the people did very well.
Not at all.
It's
not what this is about. At
even
all.
with criticisms that I've levied before, I think that overall the band has had superb organizational leadership. But no, I think you're right. Like it comes down to, I think, what's best for the player individually to be able to focus on playing.
Ultimately, because what are we really about? It's about the music.
Yeah.
And if a player is distracted with other things, especially a new player, they're fucked, right? Because there's only so much time anybody has.
Yeah, and it takes so much focus. It takes so much focus to get the music correct, and also it's separation of, like, in my mind, it's separation from your hobby and work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I consider the pipe band to be a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing I enjoy doing.
Right.
I make myself do it because I enjoy doing it. It makes me happy generally.
Right.
I go to and there's occasions, and I know I rant a lot. There's plenty of occasions, but overall, I would rather be working on stuff with the band than sitting at my desk.
Right. Sure.
You know what I mean? So despite when I lose my fucking shit on people, that's an important thing, and I think that it's hard when you're trying to learn and you're also thrust in a leadership role to separate that out. Because then it feels like you're leaving work to go do more work.
Correct. Yeah. And it's not fun running an organization. It's hard. People complain.
Fucking pain in the
There's
ass.
17 different opinions.
It's a huge pain in the ass to run an organization, and Lord knows we don't make it any easier by being very opinionated human beings.
And being complete a-holes.
Yes.
So absolutely. And I wouldn't say it's necessary for the musical leadership to necessarily be the organizational leadership, but it definitely helps in the sense that, like, at least everybody's on the same page and they're going in the same direction, and there's no confusion as to how the pipe band works.
Do you think it's more important, not necessarily for it to be the musical leadership, but like the most experienced people in the band?
A little bit,
because it just so happens that we're both.
Yes, and the size of our organization, because it's so small.
It happens that we're both the musical leadership and the most experienced people in the band.
Correct.
Like, for example, if there was someone that's been playing for 40 years that maybe it doesn't have the chops to be like a competitive pipe major anymore, but wanted to be leadership, like, they'd be a great choice, because especially if they've played a lot in different places and actually done the circuit,
Those type of people are usually the best for that, because they have the life experience, world and pipe band experience to know how all that stuff works.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to, they already know how to play.
Yeah.
We're dealing with people that kind of still learning how to play. I mean,
for the most part,
really
we all
are in some way, but
yeah.
I mean, like, actual beginners.
Like, everybody, it's a lifelong thing to learn how to play, but I mean, for the most part, everyone in our band is a student player.
Like 95% of it.
Like, and there's a deeper philosophical thing. Like, we're all students. It's like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, no, these are actual beginners still learning what a long note and a short note is, and how they're supposed to treat it. One minor exception to that, I suppose, is the Angel type. And I don't know if you remember this, but Angel was like the vice president or something at some point. I don't remember exactly what he was, but he was definitely the vice president.
He served on the board. I think that might be.
Like,
was that before I moved back? Maybe. Or?
I think so. I think it was maybe right before that. And to be fair, Angel didn't know his music back then either.
I'm about to say.
So nothing changed really.
and like, not to like harp on Angel more than we always do, because it's fun to fuck with Angel. But like, one of his advantages is, despite not having a ton of experience, as far as like a breadth of experience traveling and competing at high levels, he's got a good ability, and he's got decent fundamentals.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't take much for him to get what he needs to do done. He just doesn't do it.
I mean, I don't mean to sound stereotypical, but he's got natural rhythm, at least. The guy can march and play.
Well, he knows music. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, he can play musically.
Right.
Which is hard. It's a thing that I don't know. I don't want to say that you can't teach it, because it's probably something you can teach. It's just beyond my ability to teach.
What's that?
Like what I consider to be a natural musical affinity. I mean, you can teach it.
I think it can be taught.
Yeah, I think it can be taught. I think part of it, I mean, I don't know. I never considered myself to be naturally musical. I was just a person that liked music a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did my homework as far as listening to a lot of shit, which helps. I mean, if you ever see me dance, you know I have no fucking rhythm.
I'm terrible at rhythm, but I'm a fucking badass drummer.
Yeah, like, but also I can click in my brain at the exact beat I need to click in my brain, you know.
Correct.
And like,
Yeah.
but no, going back to the subject, like, I mean, realistically, and like, this is not to toot our own horns by any means because we're not the best pipers we know.
No. Well, I'm the best piper I know.
Sure,
Just kidding.
but we just have more experience.
It's experience in music in general.
It's
Not just
also
pipe band, but
and it's
music in
also
general.
a breadth of experience in pipe. I mean,
And
like
life.
I've played in bands competitively, solos competitively, tons of gigs, big crowds, small crowds, everything in between. Like, like I'm dead inside to all this because I've just done it so much that it doesn't bother me, and I'm only ever playing against myself.
Correct. I remember like discussing this like with Lauren and maybe some of the other people like our quartermaster and some of the other guys that are on the board, where they are still nervous at gigs. Like it still affects them to go play St. Patrick's Day or some parade or some nonsense, where we're just like, my head's down by the way. We're just dead inside, don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
it's easy. Yeah,
Like
I mean,
when
easy-ish.
there's things that come up, like there are times that I am performing that I get a little bit, but really few.
It's just maybe a solo competition that affects me at this point.
Yeah, and even then I'm just like, well, what's the worst thing that happens? I don't win. Like I realize that there's not very much stakes for me as far as the only stakes for me are typically my own enjoyment. Like, do I feel like it was worthwhile for me to drive all the fucking way out here and play this? If I have a good time and play it, and
It's
if
a good beer tent there, it's worth it.
yeah, like if I have a good time and I play it and I don't win, like I don't really mind that much. But that's because that's not my life, you know. Like I don't.
Well, I mean, it's not a lot of people's lives, but some people really, really, really care about the results.
Yeah.
Some people are more competitive, or maybe they're just. I don't know. I don't know what they are.
I mostly just want to make sure that like I play a good set. If I play a good set, I'm happy.
Well, that's what it should be,
Yeah,
for sure.
Like win or lose, whatever happens. Like if I don't fuck it up and I play a decent set, I'm happy with that. I get frustrated by stupid mistakes in a ensemble setting.
Yeah.
But also at the end of the day, like there's nothing I can fucking do about that. Like,
Well, I mean, in the end, it's still second place at the Vegas Games in 2018, and who gives a fuck?
yeah,
Like,
no,
in the
it's
end,
true.
nothing matters.
Like, but so kind of going back to the AGM stuff. So the thought process you went through was trying to make it so that students didn't have to be organizational.
Well, we've been trying to do that
leadership.
for a long time. So we've been trying to get other people on the board that aren't those people, and it was a factor of desperation for a while.
Well, we're also trying to get. Well, I mean, it's been a factor of desperation for as long as I can remember, as far as who's willing to step up and lead. And
What does it mean to be on a board of a pipe band? I guess we should start with that. Like, if you're a nonprofit, you have to have a board. Some people are like, well,
Yeah.
you shouldn't even have a board. I remember having this conversation with one of the guys from Emerald Society who used to be in our band many a times about how he's like, you guys shouldn't even don't be a nonprofit. You just rule with an iron fist, and then it's too complicated to do it. And in the end, he's right. I agree with him. But you have to be a nonprofit if you're a pipe band. You got to raise money somehow, and you definitely don't want to be paying taxes. So
you have to raise money. You
gotta
don't
have
pay
a board.
people. Yeah, you gotta abide by the rules. And it's the only way to build something that is large enough to grow. There's a certain threshold where if you don't build enough infrastructure for it to become a bigger thing at a time where you won't see it, you know,
Correct.
at a time 20 years down the road where you won't be there. But if you don't lay the groundwork now, then it will never get anywhere. Like if it was just an ad hoc random thing, we would have even less participation than we have now. We'd have less structure. We'd have less money.
I don't know. Emerald Society is pretty fucking huge.
Yeah, but you have to.
Well, player wise, I don't know.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind.
They're all shit, but
Yeah, I mean, and they have structure of some kind. Like they have to. How do they fuck? Or either that, or they've just been doing They've just been evading taxes for. years.
I'm sure they're a nonprofit. I don't know how they're set up, but I'm sure they must be. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe that's why they don't do things for money.
Probably a membership organization. It's probably C6 or something. That's you pay dues to be in it.
Maybe. I don't know how they do it.
So the money comes from the members, which is something we haven't had to do because of the way we're structured.
Yeah, we do it a totally different way. But as most pipe bands do, they're set up as a nonprofit. We're allowed to get grants. We're allowed to raise money without paying taxes.
Get donations that are tax
all that
deductible
stuff.
for the donor. Yeah, I mean, these are all very important things.
And to be fair, our previous 2 boards, I'd say, like Lauren and that crew, and then the crew before that, Evelyn and that crew, were all very good at doing all the grant stuff, getting us money from all kinds of different places.
A lot of them
we didn't typically get.
A lot of them had backgrounds, and I mean, Lauren literally professionally does grant writing. That's part of her job.
Right.
Like, so she's good. She's good at it. She's
Right.
really good at it.
Absolutely. I remember, like, God, this must have been, it had to be pre-Evelyn, when Eric and we went to like this grant writing seminar. Like, I talked to
What,
Eric
like the Arts Council workshops?
It's one of those workshops. This had to be like 10 years ago. And I went and I'm like, Eric, dude, we have no fucking idea what we're doing. Like, there's no way we're going to be able to, like, this is crazy. And it might have been like, he might have been vice president at the time. I don't remember, because Eric hated fucking being responsible for anything. But we definitely suckered him in at some point to be like vice president or something.
To fill the slot.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, like, God damn it, dude. We're never going to be able to pull this off. Like, and then
Dude,
thankfully Evelyn came in and figured it out.
Yeah,
But
I do the grants. Well, I did the grants. I don't think we're going to apply for them anymore, but I did them for the games.
it's a lot of work for
the games for a while.
for the amount it gives you.
It's pointless. Yeah, like
For you, I mean.
like by the time we got like our $4,000 check, I'm like, man, any sponsor would have given me more money than this.
Right. For a pipe band, though, that's significant.
for a pipe band, it's
Typical.
huge. Yeah, I mean, I'm in a situation now where I'm in the process of creating grant programs through the Celtic Society for the local groups, because I didn't want to do the giveaway Jim Thompson scholarship thing anymore. I was like, no.
Oh, right.
Like, if I'm going to spend $1,000, you motherfuckers are going to have to apply for it and tell me what you're going to do with it and have it be approved. And so we're now going to have our own internal grants.
If it's $1,000, maybe it's worth it. But like, if it's like St. Andrews and it's $50 or $200, like, I ain't going through that. I don't give a fuck who you
No,
are.
it would be like two
Like, it's
500s. It'd be like two 500s or like $1,000 to.
Yeah, that's-
and it would be like artistic development type stuff.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And you wouldn't have to jump through the hoops you have to do for like NAC. You just have to make a presentation.
Well, I mean, but that's a federally funded grant. So of course they jump through a million hoops. It's ridiculous. But it's a quarter of our budget.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, and you know, it's important to our success, I think, overall. Especially
I don't know how we're going to get that done next year, because I'm now president and I don't know shit about granting.
Well, I mean, I think she's still wanting to help with the grant stuff. She just doesn't want
You
to do.
hope.
She doesn't want to do all the other shit, you know.
You hope.
Personality management.
Yeah, that's the shit that sucks.
General leadership type stuff, like that's the kind of stuff that's
Like
just
listening
sucks.
to people whinge about every goddamn thing.
It's the kind of stuff that sucks your soul out of your asshole.
That's why we have Jeremy, right?
Yeah, Jer Bear.
He's our band psychologist.
Here's our band psychiatrist.
i.e. member at large. That's really what it is.
But no, so I think that it's a good point to be made where it's like, okay. And I remember, you know, when the vice president thing came up, and I was like, yeah, fuck. Like, I already knew I was gonna get fucking suckered into this shit.
Well,
And
again, that was necessity. It wasn't like
It was necessity.
we definitely thought. I remember thinking, like, it's not the best solution because there's a potential conflict of interest to have you on our
There's
board.
a definite conflict of interest.
But like, we were absolutely 100% desperate. There was nobody. Like, nobody wants to do it, and our band is so small, and everybody's so new. And this is what we ran into with the last board. I'd say last couple of boards is that they don't really know how pipe bands work or how they're
Yeah.
supposed to work, and then we're dealing with like people who I'm teaching who are now telling me what to do, and that don't fly.
Yeah. No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't work
for me. So
and like the thing for me is like, you know, I was comfortable taking on the role because I have even when I wasn't on the board of the band, I always recused myself of anything that was band that shall not be named related with the games.
correct, yeah.
I just pull myself out of the equation because then neither party can be pissed at me for whatever happens. You know what I mean?
And that's 100% good
So-
and fair, and that makes sense.
So that's the way I do it. One of the reasons that I finally decided to step up and just take it on, and I don't intend to take it on for more than my term,
well, hopefully we have people that step up.
but it's because, you know, I have enough experience at this point in nonprofit management to like just fix some things that nobody else knows how to fix.
Well, the technical side.
Yeah, well, it's the technical side, and also like I find that a lot of the value I provide, even if it's not writing grants or doing whatever, it's like I can speak from experience pretty well, and I can tell you here's the easiest way to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can consult fairly easily because I help run two fairly successful nonprofits, and I've seen all the shit that they've fucked up and gotten wrong, and and fix those problems, and so I can kind of make sure we don't make the same mistakes.
What was the biggest
Experience is my teacher, you know.
What was the biggest mistake the Celtic Society ever had?
In my opinion, that's a good question.
Willie, say it, folks. I know what it is.
What do you think it is? I'd be interested because my first thought went to that tattoo, but we actually disavowed ourselves of that very early on. We cut ourselves clean from that very early, but that was a huge mistake that still gets thrown at us sometimes.
Correct. Yep.
It still gets thrown at us because it was a lot of the same people. I would say the biggest mistake that the Celtic Society ever made was having people on the board who had vested financial interests in other things and were trying to leverage the event for their own personal
It
businesses.
sounds just like a politician, doesn't it?
Yeah, not just a politician. Also sounds like an event promoter too.
Well.
I mean, there were plenty of people in that boat.
Yes, exactly. That's what I would guess. The people that were on boards.
But it was the
conflicts of
same.
interest.
It was the same exact thing, where it was a crime of desperation, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
there was nobody else that would step up and run things, and the people who did step up, and I could go way deep into all the fucking drama that's happened with that organization. What I will say, quite honestly, is that the people who were former leadership, not just the administration before the current one, but even I'd say the administration before that, did move the ball down the field.
That's true. And ultimately, isn't that?
Yeah, so like they moved the ball down the field until they got too caught up in their own glory, in my opinion, or their own.
Isn't that always what happens?
Or how could they leverage it into something that helped them? And then they were
power
pretty
corrupts
much
absolutely, right?
Yeah, and then they were
like that.
pretty much summarily removed. So I think
That happened twice.
yeah.
Like, why does this keep happening? And it's interesting. I don't know.
Oh, it's going to happen here with you and me, like easily.
Oh, we're
Like-
going to get removed. For sure.
What do you think? Absolute power will not corrupt us? Absolutely.
There's been attempts. Like, I remember when I was first pipe major, I would say like the second year, maybe 2009ish. I think I took over.
Dude, there's been attempts recently.
Some of those same people. Well, maybe I don't know, but maybe some of those same people that were involved in your organization. Like, I remember them going around to the pipe band and asking people to create a vote of no confidence in me as pipe major to try to get me out.
Yeah.
And like everybody more or less rejected them for doing that. And I ended up finding out about it. And then those people are now gone. Well, we were like, all right, it's you or me, and it ain't going to be me.
Well, you know,
guess what?
In that kind of here's the
gone.
thing. I have, if you're gonna play that way, if you're gonna go for it and you're gonna take a shot at the title, that's
You gotta be
that's
prepared to
okay.
lose. Yeah.
That's okay. But when you lose,
You're gone.
you're gone.
Yeah.
So it's like
now remove yourself.
Like I've had people take shots at me before, and it's like, okay, but and I totally respect if you have an issue with me and whatever, and you can take your shot because that's your right, man. Shoot your shot, you know. But when if you lose, I'm not keeping you around.
No, you're out.
Yeah,
There's a loyalty issue.
yeah. Like at that point, I'm not keeping you. I'm not
Guess what?
keeping you.
I'm not
close
leaving
to me.
you there so you can continue to
Yeah.
create dissent.
Yeah. Continue to try to stab me in the back. Like,
Yeah,
no,
it's not going to
gonna
happen. So a couple of years ago, I remember
We're back to the Italian mafia pipe band.
Absolutely. And I am very crazy, like stuff like that. Like loyalty is a huge thing for me. A couple of years ago, and maybe this relates to what you were just talking about, is like Pulaski and I were talking because I remember like there's we go through ups and downs. I'm like, dude, I want out. I don't want to be in charge of this anymore. Fuck these people. Nobody will we can't get anything done because it's just a nightmare. And he's like, dude, if you leave, like this goes away because nobody's taking over for you.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody's going to be pipe major if you leave. I'm like, fuck. Like, I offered it to Eric. I remember offering it to Eric. I remember I probably talked to Angel about it. Maybe not super seriously, but I remember thinking like maybe testing the waters with Angel or like Van maybe or whoever. And I'm like, nobody wants it. Like it's hell being in charge of a pipe band.
Oh, it sucks,
100%
man.
hell. And so, and this might be what you're referring to, where people are upset with me because I'm mean or whatever the fuck. Like, shit's got to get done either way. At the end of the day, things got to get done. And
Well-
if you guys aren't getting shit done,
And the thing that I thoroughly enjoy and that thoroughly infuriates our band members about our leadership dynamic.
What's that?
Is you really have no idea who's going to be good cop and who's going to be bad cop on
it
any
changes
given day.
Yeah, it absolutely changes. Sometimes I walk in and I'm a nice guy.
Because we usually like kind of have a look and like if I'm ready to tear a motherfucker up,
I know it, and then I go into good mode.
like you'll be the good guy.
It's happened so many times.
You'll be the good guy, and I'll tear a motherfucker up, and vice versa. Like when you just fucking had it for the day, and I'll be like, "Oh, guys, that's okay. Like we'll work on this and this and this," and like you'll be a dick, and I'm like,
just
"Nah,
totally-
no worries." Like, come on.
You never know what's gonna like set you off too. Like remember at the concert, for example, like people not holding dots. Like I hadn't even started playing my pipes yet, and I was listening to people warm
the
up,
funny thing with the kids.
and I was ready to lose my goddamn mind, and I just fucking lost my shit. Like God, why it threw me off on that day as opposed to any other day? Some days
I thought that was perfectly legitimate, though.
but it, like why that day? Like it was just my mood at
Yeah.
the time. Like God damn it.
Well, you
know
can
what I
only
mean?
take so much, man.
Yeah.
No,
But
I
anyway,
loved
go
it.
ahead.
I loved it with the kids when they nearly missed their own fucking solo. And I'm like, where the hell are they? It's like, I'll get them. You keep everybody here. And I go downstairs and I'm like looking around. I'm like, what's that? And they're like sitting there like John or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck upstairs. Get your shit now. And they're just like, oh, okay. I'm like, no. Now, move. And they're just like, okay.
This is two 13-year-olds.
Yeah, and they're running up, and like they said something. It's like, yeah, Josh kind of lost it on us. And I was like, kids.
That was so not.
I was like, kids, trust me. When I lose it on you, you will know because I will have to have a conversation with your parents because you were crying.
Death will have been threatened upon you.
It's like trust me, I didn't lose it. Like I was fairly friendly in my get the fuck up and get upstairs. But I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Get upstairs now. Move.
Dude, that was funny because I was in good mode that day because I was so sick I didn't give a fuck, and I sent you down, and I remember them coming back up. I'm like, ladies, what?
Dude, I was
I just went to the front,
like,
like, all right, they're here, let's go.
I was rocking on like 3 hours of sleep.
3
Like,
hours of sleep, 17 Red Bulls, and a lot of cocaine.
No cocaine because I couldn't afford any.
Dude, you should. That would have been a
I had
way to make
a-
the concert fun.
I had a cold brew. I had a cold brew coffee though. Dude, oh, my folks came in clutch. Tori stopped and got me a cold brew.
Was that extra strong in any way?
Yeah, it's usually a little bit stronger. And plus, I wasn't in a hot coffee mood. I was in a cold drink mood.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
you got to get an espresso, get double espresso.
Yeah, no, the cold brew set me
Fucking
up
sends me through the roof, dude. It's great.
because I was ready to kill everybody, and then I was like, oh, dopamine. Sweet caffeine releasing the dopamine in my brain. What little dopamine reserved is left after me being awake for 27 hours.
You know what I missed this year, actually? Lauren usually at concert day usually brings me a Starbucks hot chocolate with a shot or two of espresso in it, depending on how big it is. And her and I are not that friendly anymore, so
that might have
didn't happen.
that might have unfucked your throat.
It might have. I just need anything hot.
'Cause that was a thing. That was a thing too that I must have imagined was very okay. So like when I get sick and I lose my voice, it is the most frustrating thing to me because I hate repeating myself. I hate when people aren't listening, and when I have no voice, that's it. That's all I get. Right? Like if I'm like, guys, I need you to fucking listen. Like there's nothing. Like 99% of me being able to get anything done is because I can like project a very loud voice in a certain tone that gets people to fucking listen up, you know?
That's true.
And as soon as my weapon is taken away from me, I'm like, shit, how do I get these people to pay attention? I mean, with like you or like the bros, I can just kind of like quickly sign things that I need.
Didn't that happen? There was something at the concert where I didn't even say anything. Where we like looked at each other and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
two things happened.
That
I don't
happens
remember
all
what
the
it
time,
was.
though.
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was. But I remember like because I couldn't speak. Like I got
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, 'cause, you need me like fetch drummers or something. You look at me like, and I'm just like, yeah, got him. It's
so funny.
It's like fair play.
Oh shit! So, what was our topic originally? Oh yeah,
I want to
taking
talk
over the.
So I
pipeline.
want to talk about the 1,000-year Reich.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do with this power that we now have? I guess.
Abuse it. Here's
See how many people we can make quit next.
Well, no, it's not even about how many people can we make quit. Because here's my thought process here.
All right, I'm listening.
With absolute power comes absolute responsibility.
God damn, are you quoting Spider-Man?
No, that'd be great power and great.
Oh right.
And we don't have great power. We have absolute.
Absolute power. Yeah.
So I feel like what happens next is we're going to implement some things that are probably not going to be popular. We're going to
have a couple ideas.
We're going to piss some people off, and we're going to move the needle one direction or the other. And I think the results are going to speak for themselves. You know, like if after the next year and a half, 2 years, we're backsliding or something, or everyone quits or whatever, I suppose that's on us, and we should just hang up our fucking sporins.
Right. Okay. That's a double
bell.
But
So what are some things that you want to focus on now that you are Supreme Leader Snoke of the Las Vegas Pipe Man?
we talked about this
I mean, the band that shall not be
a
named.
week or two ago or whatever it was. We're definitely going to sit people down at practice if they're not prepared for certain things.
Yes, with Channer.
That's definitely gonna happen. I have a couple ideas. I don't know if I want to. Some of the band listens to this. So
I'm about to say it depends. Like if we say it on air, does it make it premeditated? Are we are we likely to get in more trouble if it's premeditated than if not? Because I have some things. I mean, and I have a lot
the
of
idea of the big thing, I guess, is I like the idea of, I don't know if you call it achieving, but like sort of getting to your place. So like we've had situations where it ends up being me, you, and Daniela playing, and maybe now Angel if he starts coming back on the reg. And then hopefully some of these other guys that we get in January. But, all right, you get to play until you can't play anymore, and then you go sit. And no, you don't get to leave. You stay and play under practice sharing while we play. And I'm okay with that. Like, you've got to... I'm okay with earning your way into that.
That's fairly common. That's fairly common with a lot of bands.
Yeah, because I would love to hear, for example, the like slow air hornpipe set, or maybe whatever, a couple things, sort of the minor fancy things we play reasonably well.
I think the issue we run into though is going to be like as soon as people are sitting out their practice channel, they're going to fuck off and not do anything. Like if they're sitting down while we're all looking at each other playing, they're just going to
no. The rules are not going to be that. The rules are you're there.
Stand in the circle and play.
I don't give a fuck. Grab a chair, sit in the circle, or sit outside.
Fucking stand in the circle and play your practice channel.
I don't care. Why not?
You can stand up and play your practice channel. It's not hard.
I mean, there were days way back when like if I didn't know stuff, that was me. This wasn't a rule. I chose to do this where I would go and just. I remember Plesky and I kind of came in the band at the same time.
I never left early.
Never. I would sit there and play practice channel, even if I kind of didn't know the music or kind of knew. I would
put it in front of you.
I would play along
because it's not like you're going to screw them up playing on your practice channel.
No, they're not going to hear me, so it doesn't matter. And Plesky and I would sit.
I spent the first Valley Breeze practice on my practice channel.
Correct.
Essentially.
Yeah, exactly. No, you absolutely did. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I think sometimes we've gotten a little.
It's a faster way to get it down.
Too pussyish in the sense that we let everybody play everything all the time.
I'd say we're too testically.
Maybe. Because really, actually, testicles are way more sensitive than pussies, right? I guess.
I have it on.
Where did that come from? Actually,
I have it on good authority that pussy can take a beating.
Testicles definitely can't.
Testicles, you hit once, you're down.
You ever seen those videos where guys are like coming and then the girl just starts punching them in the balls as that's happening?
No, I don't watch Megan's work on Instagram.
Oh my god, I've seen those, dude. It's crazy.
No, but I would say, I'd say we got too testically.
Okay, that's fair. I can agree. So
do you have any ideas? We want our band to be pussies.
Do you have any ideas? We do because they could take a pounding.
They could take it.
That's Angel. The quote is "That's us fucked for another year." That's how you say it.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we want to breed pussies.
We do. Because those things are fucking, man, they snap back. They fucking, you do little Kegel exercises and suddenly you're fucking, they get that grip of like a G.I. Joe from 1979.
They can come 4 times in a row and take a beating. Like,
oh boy.
None of our people can do that.
No. They're a bunch of testicles.
A bunch of fucking testicles. That's what I'm saying.
So, what are your ideas? Well, give me one idea.
I mean, okay, so I spent my first year of my term cleaning up just kind of like technical things. Mm-hmm. Like here's how, because my problem is I want to build a system that any dumbass can take forward into the future.
That's fair.
And I'm using some of my management experience in nonprofits to do that. But I think my real priority, because it's hard, because like vice president is kind of a weird position.
It is.
It mostly turns into
Special projects,
As
more or
you
less.
as you summed it up, Josh doesn't do anything.
That was a joke. Come on.
But what it turns into is like, when we're at the board meetings and things like that. Yeah, that was a good double bell. When we're at the board meetings and things like that, every time everyone looks at each other when there's a project, and like, oh shit,
Like, who's going to volunteer for this nonsense?
I jump on the grenade.
Correct.
Because that's what a VP in my mind should do in an organization. They jump on the grenade. Like, okay.
Well, you're not doing grants, right? And you're not doing the treasury shit that
No.
Barb does. So, like, what else is there? There's vice president and secretary who sits there and fucking takes
Dude,
notes.
when random things come up and it's not in anybody's wheelhouse, I take it on.
Right.
I am the jack of all trades. I am the...
So, what do you want to change about that? Or what do you want to do different?
My biggest concern is setting up is infrastructure. Infrastructure is my biggest concern, realistically.
Okay.
I would like to make a system that's idiot proof. That if I wasn't in charge, it wouldn't matter. And it's the same thing I've done. It's the same thing I spent the last 4 years doing for the games.
Okay.
Which was if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, it would survive without me. Mm-hmm. That used to not be the case. You remember the early years when I moved back and all the shit with the games that I was working on and how like it was like a linchpin type thing.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember.
And now it's like a good crew, lots of good people, talented volunteers. Everyone's cross-trained. Everyone knows what the fuck is going on. So like in theory, if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, the event would happen.
Okay.
That's my definition of success in nonprofit organizations.
So wait, that brings on a question then. Have I done some... Hear the question out before you
I'm listening.
respond. Have I done something wrong in some way that has brought on the fact that if I was to die tomorrow, this thing most likely would fall apart as from a musical standpoint? Or what does it take to produce an organization? Let's look at it this way. What does it take to produce an organization that has a backup plan to somebody as significant as the pipe major? Look at like this band in Australia or whatever that like lost their
Everybody
PM,
left, yeah.
DS, everybody, and they pulled it together. Like, what does it take to get to that point? Like, honestly, what would you take over if I was gone?
Yeah, I would.
Would you try to make it work?
Yeah, but here's what I would say. What I've found in my experience with other groups,
Mm-hmm.
and I know it's weird because I'm like 30 and I've
Are you?
done a lot
You're
of
about to be next year, right?
Next year, yeah.
Okay.
But I've done a shit ton of nonprofit work, and it's one of those things where what I found the trick is you have to realize that just because it won't be as good doesn't mean it doesn't survive.
Well, that's true, of course.
Like
Absolutely.
you have to have the mentality of like it's the same mentality you have when you say I can go 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food.
Okay.
Right? Like you do have a survival mode. It's a thing that happens. If a linchpin leader of a group is gone the next day, 9 times out of 10 it'll still happen. It just won't be at the same level. And I think that's the hubris, right, of being a leader in these groups. Because like I used to have that a lot with the games. I used to have the hubris of if I was gone, this whole thing goes down. And then this past year, I got to take off 3 hours almost over the course of the weekend to go play with my band at my own event, which was fucking amazing. That was like a huge deal to me. And I don't think anybody realizes how huge of a deal that was to me, but
Right,
it was
no, I
a
get
really
it.
big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, I did it.
Well-
the machine can run without me being in the machine. Now, in cases of emergency or in certain specialty cases,
But that's a very short period of time. Think about a year of that. You've told me many a time that. Sorry, that's my
yeah, no worries.
turtles. Many a time that if you step down as executive director of the games, like shit would blow up.
I think
nobody would step up to do the amount of work that you do.
I don't think anyone would.
3 hours is different from a whole year.
Yeah, well, and I also think that I don't think that anyone would be able to just put the sheer amount of it's one of the same things I run into like when we're doing the concert.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the best person I know at a lot of things I do, but I throw myself into things, and just through sheer physicality, I'll work for 26 hours straight to get the thing done.
Right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if it has to get done, and this is the time I have to do it, I'm gonna get it done because I don't take L's. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So I think that mentality I don't think I found any kind of successor for the games or the band or even like my current career that I'm intending to vacate in the next
eventually.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm intending to leave in the next month.
Right.
And they're just now figuring that out, but they haven't approached me yet because they're chicken shit. But no, I think that's kind of a personal thing. Like you have to have that personality where you're like, here's the job, and no matter what happens, the job's gonna be done.
But like 90% of people don't have that.
Yeah, but also if you make it idiot proof, you can simplify a lot of the process. Like you don't necessarily have to have a Superman if you've got 4 or 5 people that can follow steps that you've laid out.
But here's the thing, and I learned this very clearly by running the drum corps over the last year. And it was so eye-opening
Which
to me.
was also a Superman move.
Big time. But what was so eye-opening to me and what made it work is that there was consistency and a plan. Now, I'm not the biggest planner in the world. I'm not like fucking Cobra. This guy's got a fucking plan. But I had a little bit of a plan, and I knew what was important about being consistent. And when people showed up, there was something there for them to participate in. That was the 2 biggest things that I went into that with. And I knew almost nothing about drumming. It wasn't about the drumming.
You had decided those 2 points before you even started taking your own lessons.
Absolutely.
Because we had the conversation of like, what do we do with the drums? And you're like, if people show up, there has to be a person.
There has to be.
So I need to start learning now so that when people show up, I can be that person because I'll be there anyway.
Correct. And this is what, 2 years ago, it opened my eyes to this a little bit. But I was so not involved in the drums that I didn't care. We played a bunch of gigs down in the Link for St. Patrick's Day. We got like 2 or 3 people that started coming to practice after that. And we had the usual guy, like this was back when Ben was still in the band. We had a couple guys that were still involved, but very little. But they had no ability to lead or direct, right? And these guys would show up and kind of dick around and play, and then they'd leave and like nothing ever came of it. And I'm like, what is wrong over there? What is going on? Like,
no, you need a strong drum sergeant. Like that's the only way to do it.
It doesn't have to be a good player. It has to be somebody that has a plan and has a consistency.
This is what we're working on today.
So, like, for example, this past Tuesday, right? Like, we were in a room of, there was like 6 of us there that night. Was it last week? Or Yeah. There was like 6 snares and maybe a bass and a tenor, whatever it was. Something like that. And I am by far, other than the kids, the worst drummer in the room compared to the other 2 guys, right?
Oh, yeah, compared to
But
Mike
you know
and
what?
Tim?
Like,
yeah.
We had a plan. Like, no, the kids are learning this fucking part of this goddamn music before we get done today. Like, we're not done until they learn this.
I know, because I pushed the meeting back like a half hour.
15 minutes. Come on. It was 15 minutes late. But anyway, I was like, no. Like, guys, shut the fuck up. This is what we're doing. And it wasn't that harsh. It was, but literally, like, hey guys, like 1 person at a time. Like everybody's fucking drummers can't shut the fuck up. They're just rattling over. Like, guys, shut up. We're trying to fucking do something.
Why do you think drummers drive me fucking nuts? They tap on goddamn everything.
And I'm a drummer, and it's super annoying. Like, I'm a drummer in a rock band, and I'm that guy. Like, I'm constantly fucking hitting my shit.
Well,
it's super annoying.
Usually you're mostly just like feverishly tapping your fucking double bass.
Well, it's always my feet,
Like, here's
for
like-
sure.
And I'm like, would you stop fucking doing that? Like, for fuck's sake, you're gonna give me a heart attack.
But it's so important to have a plan and a little bit of direction.
Well, I think the biggest thing is,
And this is, well, let me just say that opened my eyes, showing like those guys that came in from St. Patrick's Day for like 6 months, and then they just, when Zach left, they all sort of just disappeared. And then I took over and like, no, like this, we gotta have a fucking, I don't care if it's me and one other person, which is what it was. It was me and the one kid. Like, when people show up, we have, something's happening, regardless if it's 2 of us or 6 of us or 10 of us. Doesn't matter. There is something happening, and that's so important. And what's, I think, important about what we're doing now with us, with the 1,000-Year Reich, is there's going to be a fucking plan.
always.
Like, guess what? Tuesdays are this, and You're doing this. You're doing this. This group's doing this. Like nobody has an option anymore. There's no more like I'm gonna let that guy kind of run his group.
I think we need structure, and I think we need callous, indifferent structure. Like
purely objective, no feeling.
Like success and failure are treated all the same.
Right. I agree.
Right? It's just like success means you're standing up and playing. Failure means you're sitting down.
You're off on a practice pad or you're fucking practicing.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's kind of in the end.
I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? We get it wrong again. But I mean, and also what I was going to say about your point is like someone I think the more important thing than having a plan. Well, it's part of having a plan. Is someone has to take ownership. Someone has to be the person who is responsible for the success or failure.
Good, bad, or you got to be willing to be the failure.
You have to be willing. You have to be willing to be the reason why it's bad.
Yes, absolutely.
Because guess what? If it's good, you're not going to get that much credit.
No, actually, like being in a decent organization, even a good organization, guess what? Not that big a deal. If you're in a shit organization, you get a ton of shit. So there's no advantage.
Yeah,
you just got to be willing to be fucking fucked in the ass.
But that's also like part of the. I don't want to like go back on a fucking tirade about the festival. The only reason I'm in the position I'm in right now has nothing to do because I never had any experience before I was in the position. I was just willing to be wrong.
Right, that's important.
And when everyone's like, I need a supervisor, I step in. I'm like, okay, here's the call we're gonna make, and if it's wrong and something bad happens, that's on me.
Right.
That's half of it. I mean, I equate a significant amount of leadership to being able to take responsibility for failures because everyone else is afraid of it. That's why everyone likes fucking committees. This is why people are
because it diffuses.
Because then no one's responsible, right?
Yeah,
no one's left holding the grenade when it goes off if you're on a committee, and I think that's crippling in some extent. Like you have to be willing to be wrong and just step up and do it. And here's the call. Here's the call on the ground. Be the fucking Sarge. Here's the call on the ground. And guess what? If it's wrong, I've been chewed out before. It's not the end of the world. Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's gonna happen again, probably.
Yeah. Probably no one's gonna die, and it's better than not making a call. What's the quote? A good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan too late. Like,
I've never heard that before.
Paraphrasing. It's paraphrasing a Patton quote, but
I was gonna say it sounds like a Navy SEAL thing or something.
But it's, yeah, like get a good plan and execute it immediately, and you have to have someone that's willing to be responsible for it being wrong. And I think that's one of the things. I think that's a difference in leadership style between you and I potentially and other people that I've worked with in the games, people that we've worked with in the band, is that you have to be able to just say, that's me. I've looked it up. Lay it on me. I made a call. It was the wrong call. Guess what? Every time you make the right call, no one's going to know. And no one's going to care.
Nobody cares.
You're only going to be recognized for your fuck ups.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you're remembered for.
That's called being a leader. like that's it, you know?
Absolutely.
For every 10 things you get right, you'll get one wrong, and that's all people will remember because it gives you something. It gives them something over you.
Yep, I agree. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. What do you think Joe Brady would say about this?
Meow meow, cat picture, salty tweet.
What would WWJBD?
Well, he'd probably make you that bracelet.
He would. Joe, I expect that bracelet. Make it happen.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he'd probably.
Because that would remind me every day to think, what would Joe Brady do in this situation right now?
He'd probably.
He'd make some swag for it, whatever it is.
He'd start an obscure page that didn't get any followers and then just continue it
and just put cat videos up.
Yeah, and then put some cat videos up because why not devolve to the lowest common denominator of the internet's
I think it's hilarious that that's what he went to. But I still follow him.
Oh,
I like every goddamn cat video he posts.
So do I. I thoroughly enjoy it. And his entire 2020 will be Baby Yoda because that's the new internet thing.
Oh my God. Enough Baby Yoda. It's not that fucking special, people. They're suckering you. Don't you see what they're doing? Disney is suckering you in.
Are you trying to tell me that you don't love Baby Yoda?
give me the goddamn music because I'm about to go off on.
I'm not doing it. We beat that to death last time.
Dude, Baby Yoda sucks because it's such an obvious marketing tool. It's the cutest thing you've ever seen, right? Next to Gizmo.
But
I mean, it's arguably the cutest thing you've
Here's
ever
what
seen.
makes it great.
It's amazing, but
what-
it's so obvious what they're doing.
But here's what makes it great because they fucked it up. They didn't think it was going to take off.
They
literally
they wrote this whole thing before.
They wrote this entire thing, and I thought everyone was going to want to buy fucking Mandalorian swag. And
Baby Yoda's the biggest thing this fucking Christmas.
I know, but they didn't even give themselves enough time to actually make fucking Baby Yoda merch.
Are you sure about that?
Like, there's not you're not gonna be able to buy
Dude.
a Baby Yoda this Christmas.
I want to be like, okay. Remember the episode?
Who's the Baby Yoda of the pipe band world?
Remember the episode of The Office where Dwight buys out all the fucking unicorn fucking dolls?
I do not.
I wish I had thought to buy all the Baby Yoda dolls and just sell them. Fuck everybody.
Who is the pipe band world's Baby Yoda?
It's got to be Stuart Little.
I'm
He's
assuming.
the cutest human being ever. Like if you just
And his ears are already halfway there.
he's got the ears. He's super cute. Like just like as a human being, like he's an attractive
Stuart
human
Little.
being. But he's also like he's so like innocent and cute.
We probably
but
won't
he puts
use
it
that.
on.
We probably won't use this as a title, but Stuart Little is the pipe band's Baby Yoda.
Dude, that's perfect clickbait. Stuart Little is Baby Yoda.
I thought Fusco's 1,000-Year Reich would be the good
That's
title for
that's
this
a good one
yeah.
too. But I think anytime you mention Stuart Little, people are going to listen.
So Fusco, I want to get into final thoughts here.
Yeah, let's
we got to
let's
wrap this fucking
go on
thing up.
forever. Fuck you guys.
What are your thoughts on the future of the band shall not be named? Now that you are both a board member and the pipe major, what are the things you want to
I'm
accomplish?
the president in Pipe Major. I want to accomplish getting the band. I want to get rid of the nonsense, essentially. Like, no more nonsense. It's all about the music. Everybody focus on music. Like, simple strategy and approach to
Do the music good and the
attack.
fun will come later.
The fun will come later. You're going to enjoy it once you're comfortable.
And it sounds good.
Don't worry about the fun part now. Get the music down. We'll have some good goddamn times when we're fucking playing some good music. That's all I want.
Yeah, I gotta say, in my opinion, I agree. I agree totally. I think that it's no failure on anyone's part. I think it's just we need to refocus, especially now that
It needs refocus. Absolutely.
we have
I think we've
drums.
We spent too much time allowing people to whinge.
Yeah, no,
Been
I
too much
agree.
openness to like we're all in this. Like we all have an opinion. Like fuck you, we don't. This is where we're going, and this is how we get there.
I would say
do this.
I would say the
Keep
biggest
it simple.
thing right now is the fact that we have momentum with the new drum corps.
We do.
And if we don't really strike while the iron's hot, that'll be an issue for us.
We definitely need to.
So it's a good time
We
for
need to
kind
feel
of
some success.
It's a good time for
after years and years
time for a mentality change. I think the mentality change is going to be a little stricter.
Yep.
But that's okay. I mean, I'm not stoked about it because I like to drink my whiskey flask at practice. But but if it gets, here's the thing. You know what's better than having a whiskey flask at practice?
What's that?
Listen to good music at practice.
Absolutely.
So I think that we can definitely hit something and hit some contests, play some good sets. I don't care if we win or lose. I just want to play good sets that I'm happy with.
Play better than we played last year.
Sets that I'm proud of.
Like let's play with less mistakes, a little bit more music, and we'll be happy. I'll be.
But
happy
it
with
will
that.
be. It will be. I think more. I think it'll be a little more brutal than people have gotten used to in times of desperation. And it's one of those things where ideally neither of us would be in this position. Like we never wanted to be pipe sergeant, pipe major, vice president, and president.
No, that's crazy talk.
But in times of war,
Guess what?
in times of war, you have to do what needs to be done.
What's the saying? The going get tough and the tough get going.
Wait, so we should quit?
Oh, you mean like?
Are we the tough? Are you going?
I don't know. Which.
Gan, fuck yourselves.
Again, fuck yourself. So it's gonna be a whole new fucking regime. It's gonna be a whole new change of mentality. People are gonna have to keep up, and that doesn't mean we're gonna be like intentionally going out of our way to be a-holes. That's not what we're trying to do.
I think if anything, it means we have to be more indifferent.
Yeah, it's about
It's not about being nicer or meaner. It's about being more indifferent and just saying, here are the standards.
here are the facts, man.
Here are the standards. If you don't meet the standards, I'm not mad. I'm not happy. I'm not mad. It's just here's what you have to do.
Yeah, get here and then we'll
So we gotta be robots about it.
robots. 100%. I agree. I like it.
I like it. All right. Well, I like that, and I like all of you. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Chain Rain Podcast. Fusco, I'm glad you weren't dead after your adventures, because
Well, it only takes me 1 day to recover.
I called Bill, and I was like, "How do you want to be my co-host?" Because I'm pretty sure Fusco is autoerotic asphyxiated.
He might be dead.
Yeah, he might be hanging from his shower with his dick in his hands.
Or some husband tracked me down.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You ever use that vest I bought you for Christmas? It's not bulletproof. It's just a handsome vest. All right, everybody. Well, you have a lovely evening, and we will catch you all later. Fusco. I'm going to say it to you, even though I'm going to do it. Play us out.